Hello, Libra, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of July 5th through the 11th. And during that time, we have a waning gibbous moon for the first part of the week, and that's a good time of self-reflection and rebirth. We're making positive changes and definitely working on getting rid of bad habits, negative thinking, and we're still just working towards our goals and accomplishments. We have the third quarter moon that comes in on the 8th, and that is a time of inward reflection. So we're starting to gain our full potential on the things that we started during the beginning of the cycle, and we're just kind of arriving at where we wanted to be. So we're going to look around and say, did I accomplish my goals? Do I need to, reset and try this again during the next new moon? Or am I done with this and I'm ready to move on to the next thing? So we then have the waning crescent, and that is calm and stability. And once again, we're self-reflecting and trying to start to prepare for the things that we might want to do and start during the next new moon, which is next week. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Libra. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is to balance spirituality and practicality. Okay, let's see what the Libra Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder for you this week is that you take some time to meditate. So, if you can try to work it in daily, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes, or, if you can do longer sessions, and it doesn't have to be daily, even just a few times a week, if you can, manage half an hour, 45 minutes, even an hour in some cases, just of meditative time, see if you can work that into your schedule and see if it has any effect on you personally. So if you already meditate, you know what I'm talking about. If it's not something that you do, trying to work it in and just kind of, take notes about what's happening, how it's affecting you in a positive or negative way. So if you need some help, there's lots of guided meditations out there. And sometimes I do put on headphones. I need to block out just the sounds of the world, if the house is loud, or if there's traffic, or just kind of sometimes daytime noises are a little louder, but headphones can help with that. But that's my fun weekly reminder for you, Libra, is to try to get in some meditation time. And I think that's pretty balancing of your spiritual and practical life. So, as your overall card suggests here. All right, let's get into this reading. July 5th through the 11th, balance spirituality and practicality. Your present energy right now, Libra, is the Hermit card. So, the Hermit, and I was just talking about meditation, and that's kind of something the Hermit would do. The Hermit's going to kind of block out the world and take to themselves to go in and do some inner searching. So this would definitely involve some meditation, but it's kind of like just taking a little bit of solitude time to kind of regroup. We're in that with the moon phase, which is a good time of inward and self-reflection, and that's something that the Hermit card is very useful for, and to remind you to do that, to take that time to just block everything else out and think about your own things for just a little bit and go inside. Your current situation right now is that maybe you're doing that because you are in a place where you need to make a decision, but you're really thinking something over and thinking it through. And that does take some solitude. You don't want outside influences if you're just trying to make a decision. So it looks like you're at a point right now where, maybe you're just going to be a little quiet this week. At the root of this situation is some hard work. So, Eight of Pentacles, and I also see this as a sign of this to me is kind of that being in the moment, where they call being in the zone, where this guy's working so hard at something, but it's not like it's like a labor of love. It's something he enjoys doing, and I see that as something that's also very hermit like. That when you're just so into a project or something, or you're at work and you're just so busy working on something that the rest of the world melts away. And I do feel like that's kind of where this is, and that's something that you might continue to. It is, you're hermiting, but you also do have work and things to do. Just make sure you get focused and get into it. And your recent past here is the Two of Cups. So there's, something maybe on your mind. We've got two twos on the table right now as well. So look up angel number 22, but something, might be something that you're thinking over where someone wants to come together and partner up with you, maybe on some work related thing, a project or something. It could be so like someone has come to you, or you've gotten together with someone and you're kind of thinking it over, like, is this a good idea to form a partnership to do whatever it might be? It might be a creative thing, it could be something at work, it could just be a friendship. So you're kind of thinking it over, is this the right decision for me? If you're balancing spirituality and practicality, maybe this person is coming into your life for some specific reason that you're not even sure about yet. So keep an open mind. I think when it comes to that, sometimes we meet people and we're like, oh, well, that was interesting, and maybe they're just there to deliver one specific message. It could be someone that becomes a lifelong friend. So think about that. If you've had someone new, what is the reason this person has come to you? Think of the bigger picture on that. What is on your mind this week, Libra? Is the Five of Wands. So some sort of debate going on here. This could be something that's also the reason you're thinking something over there. This doesn't have to be contentious at all. This can just be a friendly debate, a friendly coming together of different people that have differing ideas, different motivations. I'm sure if you're in a situation like this and this is coming together and resonating, you know exactly what that's about. But yeah, that's on your mind is there's a debate, and sometimes that can just be lingering things. After, if you have a debate and a big discussion with people, there are things that linger and points people make, and you might still be mulling those over and thinking about things. It might might be the reason you're kind of in decision making mode and thinking it through, but that's on your mind. There's some points that were brought up that were maybe good points. What is just ahead of you this week is the Four of Pentacles. So stability is ahead of you this week, and basically when it's with material, with finances, that sort of thing, anything that the coins here represent. So that's your quiet, stable, um yeah, hard work. I mean, I feel like you're really keeping to yourself this week for whatever reason as you think some things over. All right, in your advice position this week is the Queen of Pentacles. So more pentacles come out. So, besides your stability, you're also just, really understanding of the material this week. It's, maybe things are just in flow. Your bank account's full, the bills are paid, the house is in order, and it's opening up some time for you to take a little time for yourself to be, to have some sort of solitude, to mull things over, to work on maybe some project that you've been putting aside. So that's a good, it's a good that you're stable in your material world so that you can, bring some of that spiritual stuff in and do some deeper thinking about some things. What is just beyond your control this week is the Knight of Cups. So, I just get this is just the most mellow reading. This whole, it is very solitude. Very one person for the most part. I mean, we've got some things that you're thinking about that involve other people, but you're just very in your own head this week. And this is the Knight of Cups, just very calmly moving through, being very emotionally open, no big ups or downs. And that's what I just feel like the whole reading is kind of like this, just very, very calm, a calm week for you. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Queen of Wands. So Queen of Wands, where if the Queen of Pentacles is very understanding of the material world, the Queen of Wands is very understanding of your passion world, but also, and not so gung ho, kind of as the king would be about collecting knowledge and things. She's very knowledgeable, but she's bringing in all those feminine elements of, empathy and understanding and tolerance, and just a very elegant, way of dealing with fire, with things of passion, that she doesn't get so excited and crazy about it. It's like a constant burning thing that's there. And I don't know, it's sometimes hard to explain the queen, but it's also that you have those understandings, but you're also, with any queens, you can also see the people around you. Like if you're having these debates, you understand why this guy is so passionate about something, or why this guy has this understanding about the material world in a different way than other people. It's the ability to see your constituents around you and understand their motivations and how they're coming at it. So either that's your secret desire when it comes to the Queen of Wands, or you're just trying to avoid understanding passions at this point this week. Again, it could be, you're very solitude and it seems very focused this week on something specific for you. In your outcome position, here we are with another 4. So 2 2s and 2 4s. And, the outcome is that you're just not really satisfied with what the universe is giving you. That might be why you're going in. It might be why you're in this decision point, that you're like, I'm not, that's not really what I wanted. What I'm going to say about this card is sometimes, I was talking about this person maybe that you've met. Sometimes it doesn't really make sense. And then if you're balancing your spiritual and practical life, sometimes also what the universe is giving you doesn't make sense, but sometimes reach out and just go ahead and take it because it might lead to the thing that makes sense. So make sure that you're not just saying no, 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 no to new people, no to new opportunities because you're thinking that's not exactly what I want. Because sometimes again, just saying yes might be the stepping stone where the universe is like, look, I'm trying to get you to a place that it's the thing that you want, but you're going to have to get through these stepping stones and there's different people that you need to meet and things you need to do to get there. So don't be so closed. Because that's in your outcome. I'm just getting the feeling don't be so closed off to new opportunities and new things because it's not exactly what you envisioned. Sometimes it is just a stepping stone to get you there. All right, what is hidden from you here, Libra, at the bottom is another 4, which makes this very special to me because 444 is a number that I see constantly. I see it everywhere. Look up the angel number there because now you're seeing it. 444, 22. Look up those numbers. These are also, they're very lucky numbers too. So, but look up the angel number meanings for those. But this is kind of hidden from you. This says rest and meditation. I mean, you are kind of in hermit mode, but it looks like you are going to have to keep, continue working, continue getting some things done, being active, even though you're inside of your head. But do look up angel number 444 and see if that has any bearing on your current situation. All right, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Libra. And the card for you is to don't push the envelope. Yeah, I don't feel that. I feel you not pushing anything this week. I mean, I do feel like it's a very calm, much like this Knight of Cups, it's just beyond your control to be very calm, very stable. Um, again, meditative, hermit, still working. I mean, you might not be able to completely rest and meditate like this guy. I mean, but again, if you can try to get in 5 or 10 minutes of meditation every day, it might be helpful for you. All right, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care this week. Self-care for Libra this week, and the card that you get is called Self-Worth, and it has a cake that says self-love. Why settle for crumbs when you deserve a whole meal? So maybe that's something you're mulling over. That may make some sense to you. And, if you feel like this is settling for crumbs, again, don't be so closed off that you're not saying yes to some things that aren't exactly what you want because they might lead you to what you want. So that's my advice there. Take it or leave it. So, Libra, I hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your own life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. Let me know if anything here resonated or if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe really, really helps me. So thank you in advance for doing that. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.